Pablo Larraín is an incredible creative mind.
Pablo is such an artist.
He's a visionary.
I come from the world of cinema, where things are condensed to 2 hours. Here, the invitation was to do an 8-hour episodic television show. Stephen King is someone who's been able to understand our humanity in a very universal way. The last 50 years of our culture have been somehow shaped by his stories. I went to Maine and I stayed at Stephen King's house, which was a very fascinating experience. Reading and kind of going over the scripts, trying for me to understand what he really was looking for, that maybe was not exactly on the page. I personally struggled at the beginning. I wanted to take everything to a more grounded sort of space, where the narrative was more naturalistic and realistic. And he was like, no, you have to come to my world where all the things happen to the characters. They do travel to different worlds and different realities. So I had to go as a filmmaker through a process of embrace that narrative. And it's funny because it's somehow what happens to the main character as well. Lisey's story is a story of a woman who's trying to put herself together to move on with her life. Lisey doesn't want to admit that that world exists or that kind of things can happen. It's wonderful for me as a filmmaker because you have to find a way to create certain layers of a narrative that is based on this fragmented memory. Memories combined and mixed with fantasy, and that fantasy goes into the real world and vice versa. It was just a fascinating process to embrace the fantasy and the psychological horror in a way that has some poetry and some beauty. This journey of humanity will take us to pain, sorrow, beauty, family, love, a lot of darkness, and a lot of light and healing. The experience of doing this, it really changed me and made me a different filmmaker. So I'm very grateful.
Why are they so important to you?
Because stories are all I had.